Hello everyone and welcome to my guide on Gates Zyra Top. I'm Melyn, a Master Tier Zyra only player who is currently ranked number 2 Zyra World according to LoL Skill. Before I go too in depth into the guide, I want to talk about when to use it and how it works. I've found success with this build, but I would not recommend it all the time. It is strong against tanks, okay against mages, and very weak against split pushers, so you'd want to use this into a Nautilus or Rammus top, and definitely not into a Nasus or an Aurelia. And the beauty of this build relies on how strong zz'rot and Banner of Command are, as well as how great Zyra is even with very few items, which is one of the reasons why she does so well in the support role. If you drop your portal and a banner minion in one lane and siege with your team in another, you can easily group for a dragon or another tower before the enemy top laner has time to take care of the monstrosity you created. Either they are forced to defend 4v5, or you get a turret with your pressure. Now into the specifics. The core of this build is Rylai's, zz'rot, and Banner of Command, where the order depends on the matchup. This gives incredible survivability, utility, and you can still do a fair amount of damage against enemy carries. In fact, oftentimes unsuspecting enemies may use a lot of cooldowns and overextend thinking they can pick you off, which can easily win your team the fight. Once you finish these items, get a Liandry's Torment, which will increase your damage as well as tankiness by a significant amount, and finish with a situational item of your choice, though I usually prefer Void Staff or a mana item. I also recommend Sorcerer Boots for the penetration, but feel free to get other boots as well, as the situation warrants. If you aren't running CDR glyphs, Lucidity Boots can be a great alternative. By the end of the game, you will be fairly tanky, although you won't be tanking a late game Kog'Maw, and have great peel and tank busting power. For Masteries, I prefer running Thunderlord's Decree with points in the Resolve tree as well. Never underestimate flat penetration on Zyra, even when not building full damage. Furthermore, Thunderlords is such an insane trading tool in lane and synergizes so well with Zyra's kit. For runes, I recommend running AP Quints and Magic Penetration Marks for early game, and then run Scaling Armor Seals with Scaling CDR Glyphs for late game. This gives you a strong early game while still having 35% CDR at level 18, provided you have Banner. Again, we can get away with running Scaling Defensive Seals because this build is specifically against tanks or low threat AP top laners. Okay, the last thing I want to talk about is laning. As Zyra top, you must realize you wear a gigantic sign saying, "Gank me." Know that you could harass early, know that you could push them into their turret, but don't. You do not have the tools to survive and you will get camped. I usually let the lane push and only harass when the wave is pushing towards me. As soon as the wave starts going back to their turret, push it out completely and back. In the time where it comes back to you, you can farm jungle camps quite easily with your plants tanking damage. You can take Scuttle Crab or gank mid. It is very key not to overextend. For builds, get double Doran's rings for mana sustain. Next, if you are against an immobile champion like Darius, you can rush Rylai's. If you're against an AP top or AP tank like Lulu, Lissandra, Rammus, or Nautilus, rush Banner of Command. If you're against an AD tank like Garen or Alawi, rush zz'rot. Once you get all three of these items, you become a terror. Create lane pressure and then group with your team. That's most of the important things. Make sure you try this out in a normal game before jumping into ranked. This is a very cheesy build with situational effectiveness, but under the right circumstances, it can really shine. As always, let me know if you have any questions by asking in the comments below, on my stream, or on Twitter. Thanks for watching, and may your enemies feel the thorns embrace.